Why your ex is taking so long to come back. Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about why your ex is taking so long to come back. So let's get into some of the reasons why your ex might be taking a while to come back. So the first kind of point I want to make is you break no contact too often. So obviously when you break up with someone has dumped you and you want to get them back and you want them to become more interested in you again. The worst thing that you can do is to not give them the time and space that they need to think about you and to miss you and to realize that they made a mistake. And you can do this by reaching out to them too often, even if it's just something like, hey, how are you? You know, just those simple chit-chatty kind of conversations that you can have with someone, right? But when you break up with someone and you want that person to regret their decision of dumping you and for them to come back, you need to allow them to have time and space to think about you. So when you do break up with someone, you have to leave them alone until they reach out to you and until they initiate contact with you. So you basically need to go completely cold turkey on social media. So don't post anything on social media, especially if you are still friends on social media. And you basically don't want to like any of their things, don't view their stories. Basically, you want to go completely off the radar and wait for them to contact you. So that means not messaging them at all, not emailing them again, not liking their posts, not following them, not doing anything to contact them. They have to make the effort. They have to contact you basically. So but an important thing to consider though is how do you know if your ex has broken no contact with you and it's okay to start asking them if they'll like to hang out and things like that again? So don't message them, don't break no contact with them. If they do something simple like your post, or they add you as a friend, or they follow you, or they unblock you, liking your posts, don't see that as them breaking no contact. They may even comment on your posts. They may even leave like comments or retweet you or something like that. Don't see that as them breaking no contact. Breaking no contact and them getting in contact with you is literally when they call you up or they message you directly and privately. That is them breaking no contact. That is when you can start seeing if they're okay, if they want to meet up one day. Obviously, if you still want to get back with them when that time comes. But they need to be the one to do this, not you. So if your ex hasn't come back yet, maybe you need to think about if you have contacted them in some way, if you have liked their posts, if you have been posting a lot on social media and basically they can't miss you because you're posting every day, or if you've messaged them, or if you've done a lot of basically ways to like sneakily correspond with them in some way. You know, you need to really consider these things. And basically if you've done a lot of these things, then you've got to realize that, wow, I'm not allowing this person to miss me. I'm not allowing my ex to miss me. And that might be the main reason as to why they haven't come back yet, why they don't want to be back in a relationship with you, that you are just too familiar. So you need to make yourself more rare and more scarce, and the best way you can do that is by going cold turkey on social media, no longer looking at their stories, no longer liking their posts, no longer posting altogether. And if you need to, get rid of your social media apps for a few months and then log back on every so often, you know, like maybe like once every few weeks or something, just to see if you've got any messages or something. Basically what you need to do is you need to just go completely off the radar, because we value things that are rare. That's what we do as human beings. Like one of the things that you see is, you know, people really love rare and scarce items. So that's kind of how you need to behave. That's kind of how you need to be, because we don't value things that are in abundance. So if you're always liking their social media posts, if you're always watching their stories, basically if they're seeing your name all the time whenever they look through their feed, and they see your name popping up every day when you message them or every other day, you need to do the complete opposite of that and just go completely off the radar. And that will give them time to think about you, to miss you, and it will give them the space that they need to come back. If you're not giving them that space, then that could be one of the main reasons as to why this person hasn't come back and has no desire to come back. They simply don't miss you because you're everywhere. Another reason why your ex might not have come back yet is because maybe you are being too impatient. So perhaps you're not leaving there, perhaps you're not giving enough no contact time. So let's say you do no contact for a week and you say, okay, I'm not going to contact them for a week and then I'm going to message them. I'm going to give them a week to miss me. Or it may even be even longer than that. It could be like a few weeks. But whatever the case is, you are still being impatient. You still just can't wait. And you can't have that. You don't have this emotional self-control. Like you can't help yourself but look at their stories. You can't help yourself but like their posts and look at the things that they've been posting. You need to have this emotional self-control and become more patient, infinitely patient, because there could be a case that they might not ever come back. So you just need to let people in your life go and wait for them to come back if they want to. But obviously when I say wait, I don't mean wait infinitely just for them. I obviously mean just, being someone who lets those people go and then moves on with their life. And if that person does come back, that's great. But if they don't come back, that is also great. That's the kind of attitude that you need to have. But if you're impatient and you just can't wait, you're going to do things like break no contact. You're going to look at their stories. So you need to develop more patience with this person. Because if you think, oh, it's been a month and I haven't contacted them, surely enough time has come up now and they surely must miss me now. So I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to ask them out, or I'm going to ask if they would like to meet up with me, or I'm just going to send them a message in some kind of way. And again, if your ex-partner had started to miss you and they was thinking, maybe I should reach out to them at some point, and then you message them before that, they say, oh, okay, well, this person is still the same. They're still acting in this needy, weak way. I was actually starting to think, well, maybe I should get back with them. Maybe I was making a mistake. But then again, they just come back and now I just see they're just exactly as they were before. So why should I even bother? So exactly, it's exactly that. You don't want to be impatient. So you need to kind of practice this infinite patience. And, like I said, it might be a case that your ex may never come back. They might have fully moved on. But you need to accept these things and you need to move on with your life. And if they come back, they come back. But if they don't, they don't. Also, maybe a case of maybe you are already in a conversation with your ex, but you're not giving them enough time to respond. So let's say you send your ex a message and they don't message you back for some reason, and you send them another message. You can't do that. You have to wait for them to get back to you. If you send them a message saying, hey, how are you? Don't send another, hey, how are you ever again unless they reply. This is what I see sometimes with people that even message me that want help with me. They send me an email or they go into my DMs on Instagram and they can't wait for a message from me, and they get angry when I don't respond straight away because they want an instant response now. This just shows me that a lot of people don't have enough patience. They don't even have enough patience with me, let alone their exes. You need to wait for people to respond to you. Don't just keep on bombarding people with messages, okay, and hoping that you're going to be able to force a reaction out of them, force a message out of them. You have to wait and be patient for people to get back to you. They might be busy. They might not have much time on their hands. They might be going through some kind of crisis. Perhaps their mother is ill and they're having to go to the hospital every day. You don't know what's going on in other people's lives. So you need to give them the time and the chance to respond to you at the appropriate time. Stop being so impatient. If you are impatient, you are literally making it impossible for them to miss you. And the only way your ex can come back is if they miss you. And they can't miss you if you're always in their social media feed, if you're always messaging them, if you can't help yourself, if you're always in their feed and they just keep on seeing notifications from you. You need to allow them to miss you. And if it means that you need to kind of, have a detox of social media because perhaps you can't help yourself, then you need to get rid of those apps on your phone for a little while so you can kind of start practicing your emotional self-control. If you're enjoying the video so far and if you're finding it informative and if it's helping you, then please leave a like on it and please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if there is something you would like me to talk about in a future video, then please leave it down in the comments, or if you have any tips and advice yourself. Thank you so much. So one of the ways that you can help yourself a little bit more is if you decide that for a while, for a few months, you're just going to focus on other things. You're going to focus on dating new people. You're going to focus on perhaps some passions that you have, some hobbies that you have, ways that you can increase the quality of your life. You might be thinking about, maybe I should get in shape. Maybe I should start eating more healthy. Maybe I should start a side business and start making some more money for myself. Or perhaps I should be studying harder if you're a student, and working on those things, developing your friendships and connections, trying to get a better life for yourself. Because if you're always on your phone and you're always wondering about your ex and always checking up on them, always watching their stories, always kind of waiting at the edge of your seat basically for them to get back to you, then obviously you have a bit of a problem with other areas of your life, because obviously this is your main focus in your life. So if your relationships are your main focus, then you're going to continue to make mistakes. So if you just basically need to redirect your focus and your passion and enthusiasm into other areas and not just your love life and getting your ex back. You need to kind of transmute that emotion and that energy into other things in your life that you actually have control over, because you have no control over whether or not your ex is going to come back. The only thing you have control over is yourself and how you behave and how you act and your attitudes. So focus on the things that you can control. So that is your health, that you can work on eating healthier foods. You can work on exercising your body. You can work on a side business that you may have, creating content, making things, working on your hobbies, creating friendships. Those are things you can control, but you cannot control your ex. You cannot control other people. You cannot bend their will. The only thing that you can do is give them that space and time that they crave and not contact them anymore, and to basically not be in their social media feeds anymore, to completely go off the radar so they can experience a life without you in it, so they realize and come to realize that they actually do want you back, and then they will contact you. Another reason why your ex might be taking so long to come back is the harsh truth that they could have actually genuinely moved on from you, and you need to kind of let this kind of thing happen. Like if someone has genuinely moved on, again, like you cannot control other people. If they have moved on to someone else, or they've just moved on emotionally and never want to get back with you, you have to allow that. You have to allow people to feel and experience what they are feeling and experience. You can't manipulate that in any kind of way. If they've made a concrete decision in their own heart and their own mind to not come back and not be with you again, that is something you cannot control. So you need to let go, move on, again, focus on these other areas of your life, put more attention on those areas that are important to you, put less emphasis on your love life. You can also start dating new people as well if enough time has passed and you feel like you've healed from the relationship. And then you can get into an even better relationship down the road once you've done all the healing and you've decided that other areas of your life are going to take more of a primary focus, and basically to learn from this past relationship and learn from the mistakes that you may have made. And this will ultimately lead you to a better place, because I believe if you've come to a video like this, then you are kind of like at a crossroads in your life where you're about to embark on a new kind of journey, and you could either revert back to your old ways, or you can move on and go on this brand new adventure with yourself where you enter a new world of basically an improvement of life, and you start to meet new and better people, have new and better romantic prospects, and you just have a better quality of life in general, and you start to really learn these lessons and heal those past wounds that perhaps you haven't never got out of before. Like when I first started getting into dating and personal development, I had literally just gone through something really bad. Like I had this huge crush on someone, and she didn't feel the same way back, and I just really wanted to figure out what I was doing wrong, and that's what led me, all that pain led me to a better place where I can now help people on their journey, and I'm also in a very happy, successful marriage. The worst thing that happened to me, like this horrible heartache, this horrible romantic kind of disaster that I went through, ultimately led me to a better place. So you can either, and at this current time, you might be at the same kind of crossroads. You can either decide that you're never going to change and you're just going to keep on doing the same things over and over again, or you can start to go down a different path and start to learn different things and start to heal from those mistakes so they never happen again, and you can ultimately find someone better and have a better quality of life. If you would like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. And I shall talk to you guys again very soon. Goodbye, guys.